What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Boys Season 2 video as we discuss just who the new character in Season 2 and ex-7 member Lamplighter is, and looking forward and previewing the next episode. We will discuss his character from the comics and just how very messed up the differences between the show and the comic are. I discussed this character a bit in my breakdown of the latest episode 6, which you can check out on my channel, but here we will be breaking Lamplighter out just a bit more. I was going to add something about Love Sausage as well, but it just didn't fit in this video, so I may do that tomorrow. In the comics, Lamplighter was an original member of the Seven, but was thrown out after killing Mallory's grandchildren. This happened before the events of the comic book and really the events of the show, as we had Starlight join in his absence in the show pretty much from episode 1. Lamplighter was given up to Mallory and the CIA to stop an all-out war between the Seven and the CIA, along with the boys. This was the first iteration of the boys, the Black Ops disavowed team set up by Mallory, with Billy in charge of course. In the comics, the boys found out that during 9/11, Vic the Veep, also a supe, made the Air Force stand down and made it so that the Seven would then go in and save the day, or at least that is what they hoped. But of course it goes very badly, and the plane ended up crashing into the Brooklyn Bridge. In the show, this was the plane that Maeve and Homelander boarded. The boys and the CIA find this out and blackmail the Seven and Vought to stand down, as the boys were set up to keep supes in check. In the show, this was changed to just Lamplighter being blackmailed. They were a lot more upfront when fighting the Seven and overt, leading Lamplighter to do what he did. Of course, he took it way too far, and now in the second iteration of the boys, they use more subterfuge and espionage to get to the Seven and the other supes. To stop the war, the two teams meet and the weak link of the Seven is given up. Lamplighter is killed by Mallory when he is shot, and then proceeds to live on beyond death, as all the compound V in him has made him a living zombie. Vought American revived him and shows how much they don't want to waste the billions, even trillions spent on him, and he's resigned to being stuck in the Seven's tower, and A-Train and Starlight in the comics have to clean up the feces he smears around. The two teams needed a ceasefire, and this was essentially the boys being stopped until Huey was recruited. Now, while the character is portrayed by Shawn Ashmore, who funnily enough played Iceman in the X-Men movies, and is shown as a fire manipulator, just like Pyro of the X-Men there in the comics, the character was portrayed as a Green Lantern ripoff in the comics. The lamp in the comics is of course the source of his powers. He uses it to fly and manipulate its energy to cause destruction, similar to the Green Lantern of the Justice Society of America, but in the show he seems more like a Pyro knockoff. The show veers off wildly from the comics, as the show version of Double L seemed to have remorse for what he did, and it was a total accident that he killed Mallory's children that led her to leave the country. He seemed sad that he killed them and had no idea that children were actually in bed when it was set on fire by himself. When Mallory came to kill him, he seemed content with his lot and thought he might as well just accept being killed, as he is indeed full of so much remorse. Now moving forward, we saw a photo of Shawn Ashmore at the Seven's HQ, and he simply may just return there to explain what happened, or even bug the place for the boys so they can get all the dirt they can on him and the Seven. The trailer for next week shows Homelander introduce Stormfront as his girlfriend to Becca and Ryan, and naturally she will have a heavy interest in him, considering she wants to continue the Third Reich and the work of Vought and the Fuhrer. The power of Ryan could be exponential, as he would be given a second generation superpower and is already manifesting his powers. No doubt this is another reason she is taking great interest in Ryan. He has powers from his father, so it'd be easy to make an army of super children, but she also needs to work out how to stabilise Compound V in adults, and I fully expect that the boys will at some point be injected with Compound V, just like they were in the comics. We also have Cindy as a loose cannon, but I think that will pick up more next season, as we also have A-Train as a prospective inductee to the Church of the Collective. I can't imagine Vought America would be too happy with the Church manipulating their $1 trillion superheroes, but again, they did throw them on the scrap heap so far. Now lastly, we're also getting a boys spin-off with the description reading, set at America's only college exclusively for young adult superheroes and run by Vought International. The Untitled Boys spin-off is an irreverent R-rated series that explores the lives of the hormonal competitive supes as they put their physical, sexual and moral boundaries to the test, competing for the best contracts in the best cities. Part college show, part Hunger Games, with all the heart, satire and raunch of the boys. So no doubt this is basically where the kids whose mothers are injected with Compound V go after they are stable and ready to go on and possibly join the Seven or another Vought team we are yet to see, such as Payback. It seems if you're not on the Seven, you just have a patch given to you by Vought themselves. Now, one team this college could focus around is Super Duper, who were the C-list superheroes who Vought sent in when it's a bit below the Seven's pay grade. They came head-to-head with the boys very early on in the comic and came off so very worse for wear. Now, I'm excited for this, and Starlight has mentioned that Vought sponsored a younger team of superheroes in the past, which is most likely the Young Americans, so she was in the comics and the show there, so there's a wide range of teams that this can actually pull from, and I do hope that the ones that Stormfront was creating was actually the G-Men, who were the X-Men knockoff, and it'd be nice to see them as well. But let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I do hope maybe we will see this as a prequel of the Seven's backstory and see how they came to fight others in college and then go on to join the Seven. So let me know what you think in the comments down below, and please do like if you liked the video, and please do subscribe with notifications if you want more, and I'll see you soon. Well, goodbye.